Thank you, General Malik. I thought that we are normally meeting in Kolkata, but this time in Delhi. I have two caveats to put today. I'm unfortunately not well, so sometimes I will not be able to sit. I stand and then I will, with your permission, I'll come there. The second thing is that what I will do is that I would like to present some of the perspectives through BIMSTEC and would like to hear from all of you, because I am on a learning curve as far as this is concerned. Ambassador Jayant Prasad, Director General, IDSA, Deputy Director General, Ms. Patnaik, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me for this important meeting and then devoting one session for BIMSTEC, because as General Malik said, and yesterday a number of speakers mentioned about the importance of BIMSTEC in India and elsewhere. And as you know very well, BIMSTEC was started in 1997. The Secretariat was started in 2014. Now in between, number of things happened. Yesterday I had this Economic Times Global Business Conclave, and we had a number of trade chambers, and then they were asking what we are doing. I said it is not for me to say. BIMSTEC is a member driven organization, so members will have to do. We are therefore as a secretariat tactical support and logistical support. Now let me say this. I have been asked to dwell on the connecting South Asia and Southeast Asia. I would submit this connection was there for time immemorial, and at least for last centuries. I take this from Sunil Amrit, Crossing Bay of Bengal, and he says the Bay of Bengal was once at the center of world economy for some centuries ago, before the advent of the colonialism in the region, in the Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. The question then comes, are we connecting South Asia and Southeast Asia, or are we reconnecting South Asia with Southeast Asia? Because the connections have been there. And that is how, I mean, anybody who goes to Coromandel Coast in India will know. I mean, the famous place is Nagur Dargah, Nagapatnam, 10th degree channel, and then to Isthmus of Kira. So this crossing Bay of Bengal has been there since the time of humankind inventing the sail vessels. Before that, it was through the land boundaries, land. And recently Sanjeev Sanyal has written a good book about the Indian Ocean, and he brings a number of scientific facts to say centuries ago, since the sea level was much low, people could cross the shallow waters between among the Bay of Bengal. I will directly come into what we are doing in BIMSTEC on the connectivity. In 2005, the BIMSTEC requested ADB to support BTILS study, that is BIMSTEC Transport Infrastructure and Logistics Study. This study was completed in 2014. We have a long list of 166 projects, short list of 66 projects. Now these all projects are connecting South Asia with Southeast Asia. I am not going into the details because it will take some time. So these are important projects. Now these projects include airports, aviation, maritime, roads, rail, all forms of transportation. So this is the one of the most important achievement BIMSTEC has got so far, and we have then Asian Development Bank suggested to us to have a core group of people, Transport Connectivity Working Group, to monitor these projects. So you would see some of these projects have already been completed. In Sri Lanka, of course, some of these projects have been already completed, connectivity and then airport projects. So this is what we are doing in BIMSTEC to connect South Asia with Southeast Asia. Now, General referred to leaders' retreat on 2016 October in Goa, where the leaders agreed to undertake a master plan for connectivity, BIMSTEC master plan for connectivity. Now, this master plan will take and look at all forms of connectivity. Now, at the moment we are talking about certain forms of connectivity. I mean, yesterday Ambassador Jayant Prasad brought a very comprehensive presentation on connectivity. I mean, regional public goods, and then Dr. Nag also mentioned about these things. So I think it is important that we need to look at the all forms of connectivity. So master plan for connectivity is important. It will be a visionary document. Maybe the master plan will talk 2030. That's the by 2030 what kind of connectivity we could see across the Bay of Bengal sorry, connecting South Asia with Southeast Asia. Now, I will not go into much details because I would like to hear from you what you would like to say. Now, connectivity, this map, this is the shipping. Now you can see across the Atlantic and the Pacific huge density, but here you could see from across the Bay of Bengal and Southeast Asia. Now this is a connectivity. Certainly this is one form of connectivity. We should look into this connectivity more seriously. This is another form of connectivity. This is the submarine cable network. This is a submarine cable network of across the Bay of Bengal into the Indian Ocean and to South and Southeast Asia. Recently there was a Bay of Bengal Gateway project which connects Malaysia through Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. This is very important connectivity which we have at the moment. Yes, yesterday there was a reference to information superhighway. Now what we are talking at the moment is the Asia Pacific Information Superhighway, which brings the Asian Highway and Trans-Asian Railway network together. Now these two agreements have already been signed and some of the countries have ratified this agreement, but UNESCAP has reopened the whole thing to provide right of the way to lay down optic fiber cables through the Asian Highway and Trans-Asian Railway network. Now once done, I think in the region we will be able to provide affordable broadband internet to many people. This is a real problem what we have, the connectivity, broadband connectivity. In fact, for the India's northeast, the broadband is imported to Bangladesh through Tripura and other places. So this is from Chittagong. Now one of the Semavi cable lands in Chittagong. From there the connectivity, I mean the broadband is sold to India through Bangladesh. Now this is interesting. Now this is what we have the regional cooperation in, because connectivity is part of the regional integration and cooperation. Without regional cooperation integration framework in place, it is difficult to talk about the regional connectivity, connecting to two. So you can see the kind of spaghetti bowl what we have in Asia and the Pacific. You can see SAPTA, you can see BIMSTEC, you can see AFTA. All these things are there. In fact, in Asia Pacific there are 176 FTAs, PTAs signed, but only few are functional. this is an important map which I brought to the discussion. This was the pattern between 1300 to 1500. This was a connectivity, nothing but the connectivity we had between 1300 to 1500. You have these networks, Bay of Bengal network, Malacca Strait network, South China network. Now this network is based on the connectivity. You can't have a trade network without the connectivity. This was provided by Professor Kenneth R. Hall, who delivered the first BIMSTEC Foundation lecture. So this is that is why I posed the question again. Are we looking at reconnecting South Asia with Southeast Asia, or are we talking connectivity between South Asia and Southeast Asia? My submission is there was a vibrant connectivity between people, between institutions, between religions, across the Bay of Bengal, between South Asia and Southeast Asia. So what we need to look at in a more sophisticated manner is how do you reconnect using the latest available technology, the fiber optics, then grid. In fact, the BIMSTEC grid on transpower grid is ready for signature. Once that is signed, then there will be a grid interconnection between South Asia and Southeast Asia, basically 5 South Asian countries and 2 Southeast Asian countries. So ladies and gentlemen, I thought that I will share some of these thoughts. I am not against the connectivity, but I think we need to look at connectivity in a more holistic manner. This is what we need to do. How do we do this holistic connectivity is a question. It is not only the hard connectivity, connectivity between roads, railways, but I think it's important to connect the minds of the people. Now, that can only be done if you understand the forms of connectivity we had in the region a few centuries ago. That is our approach in the Secretariat, but I stand corrected and receiving advice from all of you. Thank you very much, Ambassador Ajahn Prasad, for providing me this opportunity, because this opportunity has given a lot of thoughts to me. Yesterday, especially your speech is a wonderful speech, and then I think we need to work. BIMSTEC Secretariat is looking forward to work with you. In fact, there had been recent developments. I am looking forward to work with IDSA in the future. Thank you, General. Thank you very much.